As a young cit- As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. You can adjust your camera. Your head is getting chopped. Okay. Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, deemed to be university, and its centers of excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, extend greetings to all the participants from India and abroad who are attending today's national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture, on a very important topic, Agri Entrepreneurship Development Pathway for Farming as a Service. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and on my behalf, and as Professor Emeritus and Chairman of the Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications, and then Center for Health in Computing, Health Informatics and Computing. Let me welcome today's guest speaker to deliver the talk in the 92nd edition of this national webinar series, Dr. Shahaji Sambhaji Phand, Deputy Director and Head Center for Extension in Agriculture Allied Sectors, National Institute of Agricultural Extension Management, Hyderabad. I wish to inform the participants and the speaker that the university regularly conducts two webinar series weekly. National webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture, on every Thursday, and international webinar series on open source digital technology towards self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, on every Saturday. So far, under this webinar series, we have organized 91 webinars on various important topics, which has generated a lot of interest among startups, agri-tech startups, and research scholars. Role of agriculture cooperative societies and e-governance. Blockchain technology-based fishery value chain. A self-contained village, a felt need of the day. Spices informatics network value chain. Lantana camera, a camouflaged treasure trove. Smart hill agriculture, a digitalized hill agriculture value system. Mera mobile, Mera marketing, integrated mariculture, aquaponics, and precision agriculture. In short, MAPA biofarms for income revolution. Smart tribal agriculture, optimizing value chain. Digital agri-tech and industry perspective. Land resources information system in India, present and road ahead. Weather decision technologies for increasing farm income. Big data in smart farming. Sustainable soil and land management system for climate smart agriculture, understanding market dynamics for increasing farm income, role of technologies in mitigating crop risk, how to generate additional profit via simple, attractive approaches in farm produce, adoption of flexi rubber check dam technology, potential benefit for farmers in rainfed and coastal agro ecosystems, realizing the economic benefits of agroforestry, Octosol, organic humic solutions for increasing crop yields and quality while increasing farm income and improving soil health. Artificial closing the nutrient loop, phosphorus management in protein farming, improving nutrient use efficiency and farm productivity. Artificial intelligence enabled pest management technology for agricultural crop protection without pesticides. Empowering farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination, role of mass media, smart poultry monitoring solutions, agrobiodiversity, intellectual property laws, agriculture and farmers' welfare, and insight into the issues for India's agrarian economy. manufacture and application of biochar for increased soil fertility and crop productivity, sustainable integration of livestock with agriculture for farm income increase, role of geographical indicators on improving farmers' income, lessons from Asia Pacific region, dairy informatics network value chain, a dairy tech startup perspective for farmer income increase, Spices Informatics Network value chain, a turmeric startup perspective for farmers' income increase. Generating sustainable on-farm income through fintech intervention. Nutrition sensitive agriculture, pathway for increasing farmers' income. Artificial intelligence and data analytics to ensure optimal nutrition in the soil, harvested food that minimizes human disease. Bioenergy supply chain, a business opportunity for rural enterprises and FPO. Tech enabling India's tech-starved farmers for manifold increase in productivity and income. Open insurance ecosystem for agriculture producers, risk management solutions to overcome repercussions on farmers' income, market stability, and food safety. Role of mass media for farmers' income increase, a case study from Green TV. AgStack, agricultural stack, open source digital infrastructure for the agricultural ecosystem, a Linux Foundation project. Circular bioeconomy towards resilience, urgent need for redefining raw materials and modified waste management policies and regulations. Agri-tech, new horizon in Indian agriculture. Supporting of farmers for marketing will only help doubling of income by 2022. Rural transformation for farmers' income increase. Case studies from impoverished districts. Mobile enabled software as a service to solve complex supply chain challenges, a case study from daily orders. John Deere's journey in India, integrated precision agriculture solutions, doubling the income of farmers through agro-eco revolution. Bayer's carbon farming initiative, post-production intervention, maximizing value for farmers. BAFE model of revival of traditional water management systems to enable doubling of farmers' income should be adapted to farmers' welfare as a new paradigm instead of farmers' income. ICT intervention in agriculture, challenges and opportunities, democratizing the future of energy, future of farming, a global experience, commercial processing of orders, the next game changer in dairy, data-driven agriculture and agri-tech startup perspective, agribusiness potential in Moringa, agricultural income pathway, strengthening links between agriculture activities and nutrition outcome, technology, education, research and rehabilitation for the environment, cultivating dignity for farmers, model village development programs, a case study from Maharashtra, market-driven agriculture, need for development of crop-specific strategies at block level, farmers collective with value addition, powerful business model for income increase for small and marginal farmers. Lessons from Operation Flood for transforming agriculture and food systems. Sustainable food production. Agriculture marketing in India, defects therein and remedial measures if any. Small scale fisheries and their contribution to rural livelihoods, case study from developing countries. Impacting lives through livelihood promotion and value chain development, a case study from Vritti Impact Model. Organic spices cultivation for doubling of farmers' income in northeastern region of India, a value chain analysis. Agriculture exports management, imperative of integrating with global value chain at the earliest. Agriculture value chain challenges and opportunities. Dairy husbandry for food security and national prosperity. Mushroom cultivation, a way towards self-reliance from agriculture waste and providing nutritional food security to the nation. Swas Palekars, natural farming, future of farming rooted in Indian tradition. Doubling income of tribal families through value chain intervention on minor forest producer. A case study on custard apple value chain from Udaipur, Rajasthan. Unnati Agri, Internet in farmlands, key for prosperous farmers. Jackfruit Informatics Network value chain, a needed digital infrastructure for increasing farmers' income. Doubling of farmers' income through integrated agriculture value chain, potential role of minor fruits in achieving nutritional and livelihood security, fisheries informatics network value chain, a case study from Manja Technologies, untapped potential for growth, co-create solutions to realize gains for farms, households, and communities. Neem tree, sustainable solutions to livelihood, chemical-free nutritious food, and global warming. One district, one product, informatics network value chain, the key to unlocking India's potential of agri-exports. Village e-commerce, challenges, barriers, and potentials in rural India. Export promotion of GI tagged agriculture products from India, issues, challenges, and potential. Doubling Indian farmers' income through indigenous cows, opportunities and challenges. Livestock insurance ecosystem, a necessity for smallholder farmers in India. Innovative future farming, need for design of agriculture. Empowering rural farmers by co-creating value-added products and agri-techpreneur perspective. Food value chain, issues, challenges, and potential. I think there is an internet connectivity problem. Just one minute.
So, sir, internet is disconnected, sir. Maybe he is
Sure.
joining
I'm calling.
again.
I'm calling. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, actually there is some network issue.
Ah,
So within 5 minutes.
okay, okay. I'm continuing. Please ask him to join. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, John.
Thank you. Mr. Manish, you can. Untapped potential for, I think there is an internet connectivity, and Mr. Dr. Sambhaji, he will, Shahaji Panth will join, and he's looking into the network issue. Untapped potential for growth, co-create solutions to realize gains for farms, households, and communities. Neem free, sustainable solutions to livelihood, chemical free, nutritious food, and global warming. One district, one product informatics network value chain, the key to unlocking India's potential of agri exports. Village e commerce, challenges, barriers, and potentials in rural India. Export promotion of GI tagged agriculture products from India, issues and challenges and potential. Doubling of Indian farmers through doubling Indian farmers' income through indigenous cows, opportunities and challenges. Livestock insurance ecosystem, a necessity for smallholder farmer in India. Innovative future farming, need for design of agriculture. Empowering rural farmers by co-creating value-added products and agri-techpreneurs perspective. Food value chain, issues, challenges and potential. Animal health industry, quality, innovation, talent and technology have powers to transform. Farm-linked activities and secondary agriculture, empowering small and marginal farmers in India, harnessing opportunities in rain-fed areas, pathway to prosperity. Today is the 22nd edition of the National Webinar Series, which will be addressed by Dr. Sambhaji Panth, Deputy Director, and Head Center for Extension in Agricultural Allied Activities, National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management, Rajendranagar, Hyderabad, Telangana State, on a very important topic, Agri Entrepreneurs Development Pathway for Farming as a Service. I'm very happy you joined back. Thank you. Dear participants, please see the keywords: Agri Entrepreneurs Development Pathway Farming as a Service. India is said to be a land of villages. Acharya Vinoba Bhave said, India is largely an agricultural country, Krishi Pradhan Desh, and a country of villages, Gram Pradhan Desh, more than 6.25 lakhs villages. Agriculture sector is the foundation of Indian economy. It employs more than 50% of the India's workforce and contributes almost 19% of the GDP. At present, Indian agricultural livelihoods are being severely impacted world over as a result of anthropogenic global warming and climate change. Climate change has got both direct and indirect effects on agricultural productivity, including changing rainfall patterns, severe droughts, flooding, and changes in the geographical redistribution of pests and diseases. Indian farmers of India are facing multidimensional problems: price fluctuation, debt, and lack of infrastructure and weather. Indian farming community comprises of about 14.5 crore operational holders, of which 85% of the farmers have small and marginal size operational holding. Farmers needs timely, location-specific, personalized information for effective control on their production, risk, and then market their produce to identified opportunities. We are looking towards future smart farmers, the urgency of democratizing the foresight. Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, at the 7th Governing Council meeting of Niti Aayog, he said, I quote, in his opening address, he stressed the need to focus on modernized agriculture, modernized animal husbandry, modernized food processing to become self-sufficient and global leader in the agriculture. In his closing remarks, he said each state should focus on promoting trade, tourism, and technology. In short, TTT, trade, tourism, and technology, via every Indian mission around the world. The states must focus on reducing imports, increasing exports, and identifying opportunities thereof. And I also would like to quote some recommendations from the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 report, 2018. This is popularly known as the Ashok Dalwai Committee report. This talks about reforms, agricultural reforms towards digitalization of agricultural systems. Volume 12B of the Doubling Farmers' Income Committee report, with which I have been closely associated as its group leader, it is about digital technology in agriculture. It talks about the strategic use of digital technology in the farming systems life cycle through 7 mission mode programs, which is given in chapter 10 of this volume 12B. 7 mission mode programs: digitalized agriculture, number 1, digital technology and innovation in agriculture, synergization of Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India programs for transformational reforms in agriculture sector through smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and smart tribal farming. Digitalized agromet advisories and agriculture risk management solutions. Digitalized agriculture resources information system and micro level planning to achieve smart village and smart farming. Digitalized value chain for about 400 agriculture commodities. Digitalized access to inputs, technology, knowledge, skill, agricultural finance, credit, marketing, and agribusiness management to farmers. Digitalized integrated land and water management systems, per drop more crop. and digitalized farm health management for reduction of farmers' loss. This talks about integrated farm health system, integration of human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, fish health, and environmental health. In short, One Health, Eco Health. And this is a $1 trillion data economy. If all this data which is available in vertical nature, if it is seen over a village through a GIS layer, and the country need not go for lockdown in near future. Atmanirbhar Bharat, it is the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, of making India a self-reliant nation, rested on 5 I's: intent, investment, inclusion, infrastructure, and innovation. Based on 5 pillars: quantum jump in economy, infrastructure, one that represents modern India, systems 21st century technology driven, vibrant demography, demand whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity. So today's talk will talk about infrastructure, one that represents modern India, agricultural India, what type of systems we need for agricultural information systems, and how to digitalize demands and the supply chains. The reforms announced that have been systematic, planned, integrated, interconnected, and futuristic for creating a strong enterprises, generating employment and a robust supply chain. And we also, the government of India has also have a new strategic plan to achieve new India at 2047. That strategic plan is Amrit Call led up to at 100. And it also have a very important vision complementing macroeconomic level growth, focus with a microeconomic level all-inclusive growth focus, welfare focus, promoting digital economy and fintech, technology-enabled development, energy transition, and climate action, and relying on virtuous cycle starting from private investment with the public capital investment, helping to crowd in private investment. And it also has a blueprint for the Amrit Call, which is futuristic and inclusive. This will directly benefit on youth, women, farmer, the scheduled caste, and scheduled tribe. This blueprint talks about 5 categories of people for directly influencing youth, women, farmer, scheduled caste, and scheduled tribe. This is where today's topic is very important. Agri entrepreneurship development in these 5 categories: youth, women, farmer, the scheduled caste, and scheduled tribe, and how it will become a pathway for farming as a service. Prime Minister's historic Independence Day speech on 15th August 2022, he said, Panch Pran of Amrit Call, goal of developed India, remove any traces of colonial mindset, take pride in our roots, unity, and sense of duty among the citizens. We have sustainable development goals, 17 goals, and 169 targets to be achieved, and which are included in the Agenda 2030 for achieving the future which we want. Farm-linked activities and the secondary agriculture, which is empowering small and marginal farmers in India. Also, Dalwai Committee recommendations, which talks about very exclusively demand-driven agricultural logistics systems, developing hub and spoke systems, market intelligence systems, agricultural value systems, farmer-centric national agricultural marketing systems, promoting sustainable agriculture, effective input management, enhancing production through productivity, farm-linked activities, agricultural risk assessment and management, empowering farmers, research and development and ICT, and structural and governance reforms in agriculture. Today's topic is agricultural entrepreneurship development pathway for farming as a service. And agricultural entrepreneurship in agriculture can do wonders for rural economy. This is what in an article written by Dr. Shivendra Bajaj, Executive Director, FSII, on May 11th, 2020. Agricultural entrepreneurship can help tackle the challenges related to information dissemination, farm management, capital availability, mechanization of farm, and the agriculture supply chain. Agriculture sector provides food for 1.3 million people in India, as well as supports over 60% of the population for their livelihood and plays a crucial role in sustainable growth of the Indian economy. Agriculture has been seen as a low-tech industry with limited dynamics, largely controlled by a huge number of small families, which over the years paid attention to improving crop yield rather than looking at as money-making module. And I also would like to quote Mr. Ranji's brief note on agribusiness entrepreneurship in India, which is published on February 16, 2022. It talks about agribusiness entrepreneurship is a key promoter of agricultural growth in developing countries, where majority of population is engaged in agriculture. Several studies earlier have highlighted the importance of agriculture in reducing poverty and rural distress through their disruptive innovations, thus giving due impetus for the holistic development of agricultural entrepreneurship ecosystem is necessary for overall economic development and national prosperity. In India, region over past several years have actively promoted the entrepreneurship spirit of youth through various interventions across the sector. As more than half of the country's population depends on agriculture, growth in number of agri startups plays a crucial role in transforming the lives of farmer and rural people. Moreover, the success of agri startups depends on the economically feasible focus area within agriculture and support from government institutions. Agri entrepreneurship, the agricultural entrepreneurship, it is an article written in IED.eu, European Union website. Agricultural markets across the globe have seen a massive change over the past 30 years. The international trade of agricultural products is shifting. The local market is no longer as strong as it used to be. National markets are also falling behind. Global market systems appears to be of trading seems to be growing larger and larger. Farmers need to become entrepreneur and adopt an entrepreneurship model that will help them create their local cluster and start increasing their production as a synergy, not as an individual local farmers. Farmers need more production system to increase their production line, while at the same time urbanization and rapid growth population are not working on their benefits. To achieve that, local farmers will need to create their value chain. Value chains are sets of connected stakeholders working towards to add more value to their products. Value chains help increase efficiency, productivity, and competitiveness by linking the stakeholders, in this case, farmers to the processes and markets. Entrepreneurship development as a tool to upliftment of agriculture. That is India's perspective. And it is an article written by Sojilal Bhairava in the International Journal of Scientific and Research Publication. It talks on the title India Agripreneurship Development as a Tool to Upliftment of Agriculture. Agripreneurship have a potential to contribute to a range of social and economic development, such as employment generation, income generation, poverty reduction, and improvements in nutrition, health, and overall food security in the national economy. Agripreneur defined as entrepreneur whose main business is agriculture or agriculture related. It means that agriculture plus entrepreneur is equal to agripreneur. A successful agripreneur needs to understand consistency, creative thinking, smart working, risk taking, communication, and finding market opportunities. Skills are needed to become agro-based entrepreneur. This includes strong business acumen, marketing skills, and knowledge to agriculture. The possible areas of entrepreneurship in agriculture are agro-produce processing, agro-produce manufacturing units, agro-inputs manufacturing units, and agro-service centers, among the others. Institutional support for agribusiness are needed. Reserve Bank of India started in July 1982 an institution called NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD, to give full attention to the rural sector in areas of agriculture, small scale and cottage industries, and agro-based industries. Since its formation, NABARD, that is the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, hold the responsibility of managing all the activities of RBI pertaining to rural development and agro-based activities. We would like to quote one international organization's initiative titled Smallholders One-Stop Partners, Agri Entrepreneurship, from their website. Syngenta Foundation India began its Agri Entrepreneurs program in 2014. The aim is to create employment for rural youth, increase farmers' income, and foster local agriculture development. Their model is that the agri entrepreneurship process begins with the selection of rural youth to become agriculture technology assistants. Agriculture technology assistants, ATAs. Candidates must have completed schooling up to at least grade 10. Successful applicants receive training related to their main local crops. The focus is on agronomy, plant protection, markets, and bank linkage. Then ATAs, that is agriculture technology assistants, then work as interns for 3 to 6 months before becoming agri entrepreneurs, working with 150 to 250 farmers. Agri entrepreneurs as a one-stop solution for smallholders. They provide 4 services: crop advice, agricultural input sales, market linkages, and credit facilitation. And agri inputs generates about 60 to 80% income, and financial services generate 10 to 15% income, and buying and selling generates 10 to 20%, and advisory generates 5%. Innovation and agri entrepreneurship development, agri startups. Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare has launched a component called Innovation and Agri Entrepreneurship Development under the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, that is RKVY Raftar, in 2018-19, with objective to promote innovation and agri entrepreneurship by providing financial support and nurturing the incubation ecosystem. The ministry has appointed 5 knowledge partners as the centers of excellence and 24 RKVY Raftar agribusiness incubators from across the country for implementation of this program. And National Agriculture Extension Management, National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management is one of the 5 national center of excellence to promote this. And there are about 646 startups in the agriculture sector have been selected under the Innovation and Agri Entrepreneurship Development for funding of a sum of 69.92 crores in installment. And this information was from the written reply of the Union Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare in the Lok Sabha on 30th November 2021. Minister of Agriculture, and under this program, desires to create and nurture a pipeline of agri entrepreneurs for incubators for increasing efficiency in the agriculture and allied sector, agro processing, artificial intelligence, digital agriculture, farm mechanization, waste to wealth, and dairy and fisheries. It is to create and nurture a pipeline of agro entrepreneurs in this area, and for which these incubators in these 6 categories have been proposed for increasing efficiency in agriculture and allied sector. And training also have been advocated for the startups, empowering young agri entrepreneurs to invest in agriculture and food systems. This is what the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals website talks about. Achievement of Sustainable Development Goals require a significant mobilization of investment in the agri-food sector. Strategically targeted interventions from the public sector will be essential to steer sustainable private sector driven growth. Measures that empower young agri entrepreneur should be a key complement of such a sustainable development goal centered investment promotion strategy. Policy recommendations based on lessons learned from 11 African countries is another report from FAO published in 2020. Measures that empower young agri entrepreneurs should be a key component of a sustainable development centered investment promotion strategy. Very good, policy guideline. Private sector solutions to helping smallholders succeed. Social enterprise business models in the agriculture sector. Here is another report from World Bank I would like to quote during this webinar series. Private sector solutions to helping smallholder succeed. Private sector solutions to helping smallholders succeed. Small enterprises business models. Small enterprises business models in the agriculture sector. Smallholder farmer in developing countries are facing tough challenges to their productivity, growth, and sustainability, including lack of access to affordable financial products, limited knowledge of high quality inputs, low usage of technology and market data, and poor market links across the value chain. To close these gaps and help the smallholder farmers thrive, social enterprises are implementing innovative solutions in the agriculture sector to serve them. This is where agri entrepreneurship development is more important. Agri clinic and agri business center scheme. This ABC scheme is implemented by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Government of India, with NABARD acting as a subsidy channelizing agency. It's a very important objective, and to supplement efforts of public extension by providing extension and other services to farmers, either on payment basis or free of cost, as per business model of agripreneur, local needs, and affordability of target group of farmers. To support agriculture development, to create gainful self-employment opportunities to unemployed agriculture graduates, agriculture diploma holders, intermediate in agriculture, and biological science graduates with PG in agri-related covers, agri clinics, and agri-business centers. Agri-business centers, agri-clinic are to provide expert advices and services to the farmer, and agri-business centers are commercial unit of agricultural ventures. And lot of benefits have taken place. Value chain development is taking across these, agri clinic and agri business centers. According to the synopsis of our guest speaker today, entrepreneurship development in agriculture is an important way out to bring a transformation in our rural areas. Developing developing agri enterprises and making our farmers entrepreneurial is needed urgently to pave the way for evergreen revolution. The impact of this agri clinic and agri business scheme is so far total number of farmers covered is about 2.27 crores. 72% of the farmer indicated increase in productivity. Approximate private investment in agriculture is about 1,422.08 crores at the rate of 4 lakhs per agripreneur. And about 80,890 candidates have been trained. 35,243 agri-ventures have been established in 32 agri-ventures. And this is a very important achievement to be, noted. And with this information, let us now turn to the address by Dr. Sambhaji Phand, Deputy Director and Head Center for Extension in Agricultural Allied Sector, National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management, Rajendranagar, Hyderabad, to Telangana State to talk on a very important topic, Agri Entrepreneurship Development, Pathway for Farming as a Service. Today's topic will motivate and galvanize the participants watching over telecast through facebook.com/Shobhit University India, youtube.com/Shobhit University In, or linkedin.com/company/Shobhit-University for establishing agriculture value chain startups. The Dalwai Committee report talks about 400 agriculture commodity value chain to promote agri clinics and agri business centers and sustain vocal for local to make it global mission of our Honorable Prime Minister. Let us unlock the opportunities in India at the earliest. The country requires 2.25 agri-tech startups. This is what this national webinar series and doubling farmers' income by 2022 of the Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology advocates for the last 2.5 years. 2.25 agri-tech startups, one per each Gram Panchayat, to facilitate to help 14.5 crore operational holders. Let me introduce the guest speaker to the audience. Mr. Manish, Dr. Sambhaji Pant is presently Deputy Director and Head of Center for Extension in Agri-Allied Sector and also Principal Coordinator, Agri Clinic and Agri Business Scheme, National Institute of Agricultural Extension Management, Hyderabad. Dr. Shahaji Pant is a veterinary graduate and completed Bachelor of Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry degree in 2002 from Maharashtra Animal and Fishery Science University, Nagpur. He completed his master and doctoral degree in veterinary extension education from IVRI, Bareilly, Uttar Pradesh in 2005 and 2008 respectively, with junior and senior research fellowship respectively. After completion of doctoral degree, he joined as assistant professor in Nanaji Deshmukh Veterinary Science University in June 2008 and promoted as associate professor in 2012 in the same university. After serving 8 years as faculty in the university, Dr. Pant joined as assistant director in Manage, Hyderabad in 2016 and promoted to the post of deputy director in 2018. Dr. Shahaji Pant has developed 2 technologies in the form of computer software, namely Animal Health Information System and Health Information System for Dairy Animal as part of his doctoral research, which is patented and commercialized. For this contribution, he has been conferred with the Dr. C.M. Singh Award for Best PhD Research at national level. He has published more than 30 research and review papers in the national and international journal and has edited of more than 27 books. He has been editor, reviewer, and member of editorial board of national and international journals. He has organized and coordinated more than 300 training programs for senior and middle level officers of State Department of Agriculture and Allied Sector, scientists, State Agriculture University faculties, students, etc., which benefit reached more than 4,000 stakeholders. He has organized and participated in national level conferences, seminars, workshops, and contributed for policy formulation. As a principal coordinator, he is implementing agri clinics and agribusiness scheme with the help of 126 nodal training institutes across the country, which have trained more than 7,500 agriculture graduates and diploma holders, among which more than 3,000 trained candidates have established agri entrepreneurs in the last 2 years and serving farming community. With this, I welcome Dr. Shahaji Phand, Deputy Director, National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management, to participate in the National Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in Agriculture, and take us through his talk, Agri Entrepreneurship Development as a Pathway for Farming as a Service. Welcome, and over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. My voice is audible. Hello.
Hello.
My
Yeah,
voice.
please.
I am audible, sir.
Audible. Yeah, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
Hello.
You are audible. Please.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, very good morning to all of you. First of all, I extend my sincere thanks to Professor Moni, the Emeritus Scientist. Almost the 4 forums are is holding: Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, CIDSA, CITSA, and more are associated with the Shobhit University. It's my proud privilege to be part of this webinar series, and I'm really happy to be here that this is the 92nd webinar that is being organized today. So it itself shows the dedication and the concern of the entire team which is behind this particular webinar. Definitely, so many initiatives are there when we talk about the agripreneurship. And the today's topic, if we see, that is on Agri Entrepreneurship Development, a pathway for farming as a service, of course. And I must say that ACABC is one of the first such scheme of agripreneurship development which is started with this motive. The first and foremost objective of this particular ACABC scheme was it will act as a supporting system for public extension system. And yes, this happened. What actually it was planned 20 years before, today we are seeing that yes, this is happening. So with this opening remark, once again I thanks to the entire team, particularly Professor Moni sir, for inviting me this session. My presentation is visible, I hope so. Yeah. Sir, is it visible clearly? Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah. So I think I did not to explain that what is agripreneurship, but even if you say that, what is agripreneurship? Generally, a sustainable, community-oriented, directly marketed agriculture. But here one word is very much important, that is sustainable agriculture, which particularly denotes the holistic, system-oriented approach to the farming that focus on interrelationship of social, economic, and environmental processes. In fact, yes, since beginning almost the 90 to 91 speaker, they have already taught about this agripreneurship. So I will not will go to detail in the concept, and even why agriculture entrepreneurship is required. All we know that if we see the scenario of Indian agriculture, by and large, anyone can say that traditionally our agriculture, that is a low-tech industry and means of livelihood for small and marginal farmer. This particular agriculture is dominated by the small and marginal farmers. When we talk about the small and marginal farmers, one picture we can visualize in front of every of us. What is that picture? Of course, the small and marginal farmers with the limited resources in the form of capital, in the form of technology, his reach to the market, his connectivity to the extension agency, and moreover, all this will hamper the information flow from the extension agency to that farmer. And this is the major hurdle to make that particular small or marginal farmer to his agriculture as a commercial entity. So how long it will go? Day by day, we are saying the land fragmentation is there, land size is decreasing. How long it will go? Is there any solution which will maybe nowadays we are talking about this again, aggregation of the farmers in the form of farmers social organization. Of course, that is also a very good initiative we can say. But still, is there any interventions we can do from outside so this farmer, the constraint what the small and marginal farmers they are facing, that can be overcome? We have seen a substantial progress in the agricultural sectors over the past so many years, and which resulted as a food security nation, accessibility, affordability of the food. But still, if we see the agricultural sector, by and large, we can say we are still constrained with the low productivity, profitability, increase in input cost, wastage of crop due to lack of storage, and moreover, the not well-defined supply chain management for each and every crop or vegetable, fruit, whatever commodity you can take in agriculture and even allied sector. So that supply chain management, if we work on the supply chain management, definitely the profit or the cost cutting in that particular production can be minimized. But one more important thing that what we are seeing that is definitely positive, that our Indian agriculture is really shifting from agriculture to the agripreneurship. A agriculture taken by the we can say professional people, professional you can say the this agri graduates or agripreneurs, where they will add value in that production costing and marketing system. And in fact, this is the very important path which it will revitalize the Indian agriculture. There are certain quality of that agri entrepreneurship who employ his entrepreneurship skill. He developed some models. He evolved some innovative ideas, which is economically viable and able to solve the agriculture sector problems. And moreover, he will try to bring the profitability or sustainability in the agriculture sector. And that's why we are talking about the agripreneurship. A farmer or a professional agricultural graduate or any we can say allied sector graduate or an educational person, he can take agriculture on commercial basis. This is what actually we are talking. And all we know that even the other way of this particular topic, whether agripreneurship will facilitate to getting the service and input of the farmers, or more precisely we can say timely input and timely advisory services to the farmers. And this is one of the objective that can be done or that can be we can get fulfilled through this agripreneur or agripreneurship, because they are playing significant role in solving the challenges pertaining to the dissemination of information, farm management, capital availability, mechanization of farms, and agricultural supply chains. So one way they are applying their skill, they are applying their entrepreneurial mind, innovative ideas to cut down the cost of the production and also the increase the profit. And the other way, they are giving timely advisory and input services to the farmers. And that is what actually is being achieved through this ACABC scheme. Of course, we will talk with examples, with figures, with data. We will show you how it is achieved. So, in nutshell, we can say the agripreneurship have potential for employment and income generation, poverty reduction, improvement in nutrition, health, and overall food security. Let me talk about the exact initiative of this ACABC. Already, sir has actually pointed out that on 9th April 2002, that's why I'm saying 20 years before, the scheme was launched by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Perhaps it is the first scheme of its kind which was talking about the agripreneurship. And the motto, if you see, of ACABC, better farming for every farmer. Whenever we talk about, even now also, today if we talk about that, I'm just trying to settle in agripreneurship or some kind of in this startup I want to start. The first things that which coming into our mind is that yes, he is trying for his self-employment, and as well as he will make a profit out of that. Like that, some notions is attached with this agripreneurship or entrepreneurship. But here, 20 years back, the theme of the scheme was better farming for every farmer. This single motto of the scheme shows that yes, the very objective of the scheme to supplement the efforts of public extension system, necessarily providing extension and other services to the farmers that may be on payment basis or free of cost as per the business model of that agripreneur. But finally, the objective was to supplement the efforts that agripreneur he should take up, he should own up some agri clinic, some agri business center. Through that, the information and input supply should reach timely to the farmers. And of course, the very broad objective to support the agriculture development. And third one, that is to create gainful self-employment opportunity to unemployed agriculture graduates. So this is what actually the objective which was decided at the time of launching this ACABC scheme. Of course, manage since beginning, manage is a vital part of the scheme, and we are the implementing agency along with our nodal training institute. Though the scheme cover full financial support for training and handholding, there is a provision of loan and credit linked back-ended composite subsidy, but this component were added in subsequently. At the beginning, the scheme was just with this particular training part, but later on, whenever the guidelines revised and whenever there was felt the necessity to do some changes, that time the loan component was introduced, then subsidy component was introduced. Basically, when we say agri clinics and agri business center, of course, these two are distinct terms we have, that means the ministry has used for this scheme. So, what is that agri clinics and what is that agri business center? In fact, whenever we talk about the clinics in general, in human perspective, yes, there is some kind of human clinic, hospital, like that. And what is the need of that hospital? Of course, if we are suffering from any kind of things, then we need to go to the hospital. Like that, the thinking was that agriculture is suffering from so many problems, and in future also it will suffer the similar problems, and that's why this is the agri clinics, the first of its kind of concept in India, started by the ministry, where in agri clinics it was expected to deliver the expert advice and services to the farmers. Of course, these are the major field where the this agripreneur who is setting up this agri clinics supposed to deliver this soil health services, crop insurance, cropping practices, clinical services for the animal feed and fodder management, prices of various crop in the market. So the advisory services, particularly timely advice to the farmers, and some kind of, you can say, services that can be provided to the farmers through these agri clinics. The another concept of agribusiness center, of course, this is a necessarily a commercial agri venture established by the trained agriculture professional. Here, they can think about the entrepreneurship development, they can generate the income, they can link different markets. They can go for post-harvest management, repair and custom hiring services, sale of input and farm equipment, and all are there. Though initially it was started with this, 5 to 6, we can say this sector, but as on today, there are 32 plus sector where the agri clinics and agri business centers are working. So slowly, they have taken the various sector in their ambit and they are successfully running. Coming to the implementation part of this particular scheme, of course, the policy and funding from the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. It was revised almost 2 times, and again one more revision is under consideration. The training and handholding, that was the responsibility of manage. Then there is a provision of loan, startup loan, that can be given by the nationalized and cooperative bank, regional rural bank, and even there is a we can say provision of refinancing through the authority which will be uh, approved by the NABARD. Then, of course, there is a subsidy from NABARD. And finally, once again, I would like to highlight the second part of our this particular session, that is how this agripreneur will serve the farmer, how they will give service to the farmers to improve their production, productivity, and overall sustainability of the agriculture. Here, the integration of agripreneur in extension services, that was done through Atma, that is a district level agency where the extension component needs to be merged with this agripreneur who is undertaking this training program under ACABC and establishing their ventures. So the extension component made the part and parcel of this scheme since beginning, and Atma was the particular agency they supposed to deal with this matter. Coming to beneficiaries, who can undergo this training? Of course, whenever we say this ACABC, since beginning, in fact, it was viewed that the agriculture and allied sector graduates, they will be the part of, they will be the ultimate beneficiary of this scheme. But later on, when the situation seen that some of the non-agriculture graduates particularly who having the knowledge of agriculture, maybe in the form of diploma, maybe in the form of some of the agriculture dominated subject during their other courses like BSc, and even at intermediate level, if there are two subjects some of the colleges, some of the university they are offering, one is animal husbandry and other is agriculture. In fact, these are the students, they are studying agriculture at intermediate level. So in 2018, when these guidelines were revised, that time they have added this intermediate students, and also they have considered this diploma, whose actually the syllabus, that the part of syllabus is more than 60%. So these are the major category we can say which can take a benefit, which can undergo this training program, and they can establish venture. Coming to this ACABC provision, of course, our many this today's viewer, they might be interested in this particular thing. What is this ACABC? The first and foremost thing, this is the 45 days free residential training on agri entrepreneurship. Free residential training. And it is not only the training, but after 45 days of training, there is a 1 year post training hand-holding support. Why this particular 1 year hand-holding support is required? Of course, if you think about a diploma holder or even a graduate student from agriculture or art sector, after studying 4.5 years as a part of his degree, after studying suppose 2 years as a part of his diploma, and just have some subject at intermediate level related to the agriculture and allied sector, if you see that the age of that particular students, that particular participants, then definitely that is not the age where he can directly go or enter into the agripreneurship. Definitely he need help in various particular things, and for that this particular hand holding support provision was made in the ACABC. Later on, in the beginning, there was no, in fact, provision of this loan and subsidies, but in view of the response and moreover the the learning from the implemented scheme that time, this startup loan up to 20 lakh rupees was introduced. That is for individual trainer, and rupees 100 lakh, that is a group of 5 trained candidates. So the 5 trained candidates, they can come together, they can submit the proposal up to 1 crore, and bank and finance together for that proposal. And of course, here too, again I have to highlight this particular point. There is a provision of 36 and 44% credit linked back-ended composite subsidy from NABARD. This is the highest subsidy that one is getting from such kind of agripreneurship program. Of course, this 36, 44, that is in detail we will discuss. Since beginning, we all know that manage, it is autonomous organization of the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, located at the Rajendranagar, Hyderabad. But if you see the size of our organizations, we have here only 22 faculties. But when we are operating throughout the India, then we need our partners, and for this particular scheme, we have identified the nodal training institutions. These nodal training institutions, they are particularly giving the training to the candidate, and also they're supposed to handhold the candidate for 1 year to get that trained candidate venture established. As on today, there are 126 nodal training institutes across the India. They are taking care of this the training program. And in 2018 guidelines, again we started this provision of a refresher training program for established agripreneur. The very purpose of this refresher training program, and even this is a very good initiative that has been taken in 2018. Suppose one agripreneur, he has established his venture, and after 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, now he want to diversify his venture, or he want to upscale that particular venture. Definitely the kind of knowledge, kind of technology, kind of market update he needs, then certainly he should have update of all these things. And for that, this RTP, that means we have started. And even it made compulsory to apply for again loan under ACABC, that candidate after establishing agripreneur, and if he want to upscale his entrepreneur, or he want to diversify in another sector, then he has to be complete this refresher training program, which is the compulsory document. That means that certificate is a compulsory document for getting the loan from bank and subsidy from the NABARD. And of course, this is the one, in fact, initiative that has been taken in the joint meeting of the ministry and other stakeholders. In fact, since beginning, it has been seen that the response from the bank to this particular scheme in the form of loan, that was not up to the mark. And therefore, in one of the meeting, the decision was taken that if a branch of any bank, one branch of any bank, if they given one loan per year, then also we can achieve. As on today, there are more than 1,60,000 branches are there, bank branches are there. So every year, 1,60,000 candidate will be benefited. They will get loan under the scheme, and then you can see the size of this particular thing. Of course, this loan issue I will discuss very detailed. In fact, this is the one, we can say, limitations that has been faced in the past while implementing this scheme. But how manage has overcome this particular constraint in last 2 years or 1.5 year, that will also I would like to share with our participants. Coming to, sir, my pace, my voice is okay, sir? Yeah, thank you. Then the candidate who are actually just seeing this particular webinar.
Dr. Path, your talk is also very forceful.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So they might be eager to know how the candidate are being selected to get the benefit of the scheme. In fact, it's a very simple process that we have adopted with the help of ENIC, and for that the NTI has to invite the online application from eligible candidate. The first thing, how the candidate will come to know that the NTI has uh, advertised these particular things for the invitation or application for the scheme. For that, NTI will give the wide publicity. They will give advertisement in the local newspaper. They will float in the social media, and also they will go to the agriculture and diploma colleges. They will make aware to the students that this kind of scheme is there. Once the candidate knows about the scheme, the interested candidate, they have the facility to enroll themselves online. This is the portal that you can see here, where the candidate can register online with the help of few documents like his Aadhaar number, his educational qualifications, then his mobile number, email IDs. So that's a few details are required to verify him, and after that, once we receive the application through this online mode, these applications are shortlisted by the committee based on the prescribed qualification. The eligible candidate, they are called by the interview before the screening committee, and the screening committee that consists of the nodal training institute officer, managed member, and even other Atma, one of the member from Atma, one of the member from the state bank of or leading bank of that particular state, even from NABARD. So this particular committee, the selection committee, they are selecting the candidate through interview, and once that candidate is selected, that it will be placed for the 45 days training program, residential training program at the TNTI. So if we see the 45 days training program, why this duration we have decided? In fact, earlier the duration was 60 days, but then it was cut shorted to the 45 days. So with the modification in the syllabus, we could able to reduce the duration of this particular course by almost 15 days. What kind of actually course or training or hand holding in that 45 days we are providing to the such selected candidate? The two most actually major categories of activity that ENTI is doing. The first one, exposing the trainees into potential agri ventures in their area and providing additional subject matter training to refresh their knowledge and skill. Here we can say again the one basic principle of extension that we have applied, that is seeing is believing. Even now virtually I'm just convincing you to how you can enroll in a scheme. But if I show you some kind of venture at field that is really established through ACABC program, then I think that is more convincing to you rather than this virtual meeting with you. So the first thing that we are exposing the trainees to the potential agri ventures in that particular area, that is a part of the motivation of that candidate. Seeing is believing. Besides the motivation training, we also concentrate on the building communication skill, record maintenance, scheme programs from where the financial assistance are available. So all these are definitely the input or secondary input to development of any entrepreneurship. Then second activity we are doing, that means through NTI, to facilitate the trainees to choose a venture and to prepare detailed project report based on the market survey, hands-on experience, and with the support of experienced banker. The involvement of the banker in the training program, that is our interventions that we have done last 1.5 years, and it was resulted very well. Then further, the TNTI will provide 1 year hand-holding to the trained candidate in the form of assisting them to get the loan and establish their ventures. The hand-holding part majorly consists of the taking the follow-up of submitted DPR with the bank, then creating the linkage of that trained candidate with the venture he has selected for establishment, moreover the market, and what in total we can say what is the supply chain in that particular venture. So that hand holding particularly related to that particular supply chain and linking that entrepreneur or the trained candidate to different type of these stakeholders. Coming to this financial assistance, loan and subsidy, of course, there is a credit linked loan subject to the sanction of the project by bank on economic viability and commercial consideration. The eligible financial institutions under the scheme are, of course, I already talk about this. These are the commercial bank, regional rural banks, state cooperative banks, state cooperative agriculture and rural development banks, and any other such institutions which has been approved by the NABARD. They are also, eligible for refinancing. Presently, some of the private firms like Samoneti and other non-banking financial institutions, they are also eligible to refinance such candidates. Because once suppose the candidate has taken loan of 20 lakh rupees, he got the subsidies, but after 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, definitely he need to upscale that business either, or he may go for diversification, and that time that these NBSCs, they are coming forward to give the loan to this candidate. The selling of project cost for subsidy is 20 lakh. Even you can submit the TFO of 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs, whatever, as per your project. But here, the selling for this project cost subsidy is up to 20 lakh for an individual project, 25 lakh in case of extremely successful individual project. There are prescribed criteria how we can decide the extremely successful venture that is given in the guidelines. And of course, for a group of five, there is a 100 lakh or 1 crore that selling cost is there. There is a back-ended subsidy in tune of 44% of the project, that is for the women, SC, ST, and all categories of candidate from the Northeast and hilly region or hilly state, and 36% of the project cost to the all other candidate. This actually back-ended subsidy. That means here so many times the candidate they are asking that, sir, when we'll get that subsidy. In fact, all we know that nowadays almost all subsidies are back-ended subsidies. So first you establish the project after getting the loan. Then once that project is sustained, then later on you will get the subsidy. Almost in all schemes it is happening. But here again, if you are getting the loan from the bank, then immediately after getting the loan, the NABARD will release the subsidy within a month or 15 days. But that subsidy will be released in your bank account of the respective bank where the candidate has taken loan, and the last sum of the installments which will be adjusted against your subsidy, so it will be not given as a cash amount to that particular candidate. So here suppose you have a 20 such installment for a loan of suppose 10 lakh rupees, and you are eligible to get the subsidy of 3 lakh rupees, then last 3 4 installments will be adjusted with that subsidy part. Coming to progress of ACABC. Of course, since 2002, beginning we can say, more than 82,000 candidates that has been trained under this ACABC scheme, more than 35,000 candidates who undergone training under ACABC scheme, they established their ventures, agri ventures in different 32 categories. The nodal training institutions. In fact, these nodal training institutions, these are either private or we can say the even the public institutions. Some of the NGOs are there who can conduct this training program. They have to qualify certain eligibility to get an NTI status. Like they should have the infrastructure, they should have the experience with the agripreneurship training and all these things. Even some of the private firms, we are seeing their turnover, their total worth of the organizations. That is just to get a secure kind of thing environment, secure kind of this infrastructure or assurance from these private organizations. They can do this kind of things. Here, if you see the women agripreneurs, more than 7,000 women agripreneurs, or we can say this woman candidate has been trained, and out of that, more than 2,000 women they have established their venture. If you see the progress in northeastern state, more than 1,600 candidate has been trained. Likewise, 420 they have established their ventures, and in Jammu also more than 1,500 candidate has been trained. Jammu and Kashmir particularly, where close to 200 candidate they has established their venture. So this is we can say the ACABC progress. But Still, we can say what is our second part. That is how these agripreneurs, these 35,000 or plus, these agri-ventures, these agripreneurs, they are giving services to the farmers. That is most important. And here you can say, yeah, before that, if we see the state-wise progress, of course, that is also needed because when we are dealing with pan-India, we should have a picture of this kind of things. So, as on we can say 2nd September 2020-22, since beginning, this is the state-wise progress. Sir, is it visible? I think font is somewhat small. But here you can say in Andhra Pradesh, so far more than 1600 candidate that has been trained, and the total agri venture established 473. And likewise, every state progress see here you will see. Of course, some of you might be eager to know about which are the top state they are performing well. So here we can say the first number one state that is standing in this particular race, Maharashtra, more than 21,000 candidate that has been trained since beginning. Out of that, more than 10,000 candidates they have established their own ventures. The second state, of course, Uttar Pradesh. Here you can say more than 18,000 candidate has been trained under this ACABC scheme, and more than 8,000 candidates they have established their own venture. Third is Tamil Nadu, more than 8,000 and more than we can say 4,300 candidates that have been trained. So likewise, still there is a much potential to explore in various states the number of candidate trained and number of you can say the venture established. If we see compare this particular agri ventures with the number of farmers, you may take any category in any state, either they are small, either they are marginal, they are large farmers. Then you can see that how many agripreneurs we are really needed to cater to fulfill the advisory and input services of the farmers of any category. So here you can understand the scope of this ACABC scheme further. Then, if we see the activity wise, these are the 32 activities where these trained candidate they have established their agri ventures. In fact, all these 32 activities are indicative only because in the guidelines it is clearly mentioned that any activity can be considered under the ACABC scheme which is giving the benefits to the farmers. So here farmer is at center. So it is not, we can say, a exclusive list of all these 32 activities, but apart from that, any activity that can be taken as an ACABC venture. Coming to this activity wise number, of course, the agri-clinics, more than 7,000 agri-clinics and agribusiness center, more than 8,000 ventures are established under this particular category. And here broadly you can see there's agro ecotourism, animal feed unit, biofertilizer production and marketing, contract farming, and likewise even in allied sector you will find that fishery development, floriculture, horticulture, these fishery clinics also you can see here. And moreover, the most of the activity that has been uh, in fact established in the dairy, poultry, piggery, and goatery, more than we can say 12,000 ventures are established in this particular allied sector. So this is activity-wise agri-venture established by this 35,000 plus venture, and this is what actually I would like to cite here. As an agripreneur, what they are, how they have benefited, what social benefits they have really received after establishment of venture. The one of the study that has been conducted where 160 agripreneurs and 480 farmers that has been interviewed. They were from the Varanasi, they were from the Patna, they were from the Bangalore, Pune, and even Kamrup in Assam. So all these five geographically areas that has been covered under this research, and it has been seen that the net profit margin of the studied population, that means 160, that has been increased by 67% profit margin. The rate of return on investment, almost all agripreneurs who were part of this study, that is 160, they agreed that we have got the return on investment more than 100%. And that is ranging from 4 lakhs to 22 lakh rupees, almost 5 times more. Increase in net income from 15,000 when they started their venture to 75,000 in the 3 years. In fact, in this research, we have considered 3 years data, and that's why these figures are related to that 3 years. Then increase in household consumption expenditure that raised from 19,000 to 52,000 in that 3 year. Likewise, if we see the employment created, this is one of the very important thing or output that we have received out of this scheme. What is that? The agripreneurship, whenever we think, then we are thinking about that, yes, this is a self-employment generation program. But here, our finding is that one agripreneur, he has given employment to the six another person or agripreneur, and likewise we can say altogether this 35,000 plus agripreneur who are established venture, they have created more than 2.1 lakh employment. So this is a very positive effect that the scheme has really made impression. Increase in the durable asset in their possession, though you feel that 30% out of that all, we can say 160, they reported that yes, after starting that venture under ACABC scheme, they moved from Kacha house to Pakka house. Though just for reading it, you may look it is a very simple thing, but if for a small farmer, for a marginal farmer, or a son of such kind of category of farmer, it is not easy thing to improve their standard of living through such kind of things. And that scheme that has been reached to that level, the benefits are reached to that level, and that's why this kind of social benefits they have getting. The approximate private investment, if we see, of course, the bank, though there is a provision of loan from the these different types of bank, but we know that since beginning that was the major constraint remain in the scheme, that bank is not come forward to give the loan to such candidate, and only out of, we can say, the total trained candidate, only 3% candidate they received the bank loan, and even less than that they received the subsidy from the NABARD. But still, the scheme has not stopped. The trained candidate, they not stopped themselves. They invested their own money, and likewise, you can see that approximately more than 1.42 lakh crore that has been invested by this agripreneur at the rate of 4 lakh per agripreneur. And of course, all this reflected as a social benefit into improving quality of education to their children, health status, and so on. So this is what we can say the social benefit that is reached to the agripreneur. But more importantly, now I am coming to the second part, that is what this webinar is organized. This is how our farmers are benefited. The most important thing, and in fact this is the first objective of the scheme, that the ACABC agripreneur or ACABC, this trained candidate, they should act as a support to the public extension system. It has been seen that this is the third party evaluation done by the agro ecosystem Delhi based organization, and what they have actually shown here, they have observed, in fact, on an average, one agripreneur is serving 30 villages around his agripreneur or around his agri-clinics, or we can say agribusiness center. And in that 30 villages, he is covering 570 farmers. So per agripreneur, 570 farmers they are uh, covering. And likewise, if we see, the total number of farmers covered is 2.27 crores. Very big number, in fact. These farmers are covered individually, on individual basis these farmers are covered, and as the impact of these timely advisory services, timely input from this agripreneur, it has been seen that the productivity at farmers level is increased by 72%. In fact, the detailed report is available in our managed ACABC website. This is just an average of, we can say, the crop, vegetables, and fruit. But 72% increase in the productivity was observed. The impact, what was observed impact on yield, 17% increase in the yield. It was observed because of the timely services, and moreover, the direct impact on the income, that is into more than 28%. So this is how, once again, we can emphasize that yes, ACABC, which was planned for a certain objective, that definitely it is fulfilling that purpose. Finally, I would like to show you some of the success stories, because once again I am just applying virtually the principle seeing is believing, because of course we are constrained, and this every information regarding this agripreneurs that is available, I will show. There are 3 books on our ACABC website. I will show you after my presentation. They are, you can download freely, you can go through that books. We have given their contact number, their email IDs, their addresses. You can directly contact them, and you can, you yourself, you can confirm that at what stage they are. He is Sri Samir Ranjan Badloi from Assam, serving 12,000 farmers, given job for 18 persons with an annual turnover of 3 crore rupees. And what he is doing? He is promoting organic agriculture and natural farming among the northeastern farmers. Very well, in fact, his efforts are very well received, and of course, most of you might be knowing. Even I can suggest, sir, he can be a very good, resource person for such kind of talk or such kind of webinar. It's a very learned and very experienced person. Then I would like to cite the another person from Pune, Maharashtra, Sri Nilesh Vasekar. He having this agri media services to the farmers on modern agriculture technologies, and serving more than 5 lakh farmers, given job to the 70 persons, having a turnover of 8 crores annually. Just as a media extension material he is creating, and that extension material is reached through print media, through social media, and out of that he is earning his money. Next, I would like to cite Sri Soibom Surechandra Singh from Impal, Manipur. He having this high density pengbar fish fingerling production, serving 4,500 farmers, given job to 17 people, having a turnover close to 2.5 crores annually. Similarly, here, this Vijay Bharat from Ranchi, Jharkhand, he having this mobile agriculture school in service of Jharkhand farmers, serving 22 lakh farmers. Can you? I have personally seen this particular initiative. This is just outside. You will see this. This is a bus, but inside there is a projector, and on that projector, the farmers can see the film. Farmer can see the package of practices for certain commodities, certain crop. You can say, and this bus can be taken to the every village helmet, where the at a time some 30-35 plus sitting arrangement is there. There is no chair, in fact. All the chairs are removed from that bus, and these farmers, they can sit very comfortably on the floor of that bus. So it's a very good initiative. In fact, the another photographs, that is a perfect visualization you can see. And more than 22 lakh pharmacies serving, given job to the 20 persons with a annual turnover of 1.30 crores. Likewise, this is SV Raju from Chitradurg, Karnataka, serving more than 30,000 farmers with a 40% job he has created, and having a 80 crores annual turnover. He having this unit of farm mechanization. Can you believe that 80 crore? In fact, this is not even a highest agripreneur that has been achieved. We have one agripreneur at Namakkal, Tamil Nadu, basically a veterinarian. His annual turnover is 100 crore. Just after 45 days of training program, free residential training program, with a 20 lakh rupees loan and 7 lakh rupees subsidy on an average. Can you imagine this kind of, the uh, expansion of such kind of business? Then this Rahul Kumar Shah, yes, Kuch Bihar, providing agri extension services and animal feed marketing among the farmers, serving 20 farmers, given job to the 31 person and more. Or he is actually his turnover is more than we can say 5.6 crore. So this is again Shimadri Raghavendra, Green Agrotech. This Mr. Harendra Singh from Uttarakhand, having a 6 crore turnover, serving 600 farmers. This is from Tamil Nadu, serving 5,000 farmers with the 20 persons he has given employment. Likewise, she is a veterinarian from Jammu, uh, and she has a pharmaceutical and distribution of veterinary medicine and consulting services center, serving 2,000 plus farmers, given job to 7 persons and with an annual turnover of 60 lakh rupees. Of course, these all things will be definitely. We have cited here our, we can say, poster boys and poster girls in the success stories. But definitely, we have publications where you will find 100 success stories, 200 successful agripreneurs, and 300 successful agripreneurs. That is available on our website. You will see that how, in fact, they have developed their businesses and to what level they have reached. So, one more things I would like to share finally here to with all participants. What are the barrier of agri entrepreneurship development? If these all things are very rosy, I would like that means I'm not trying to show you very rosy picture, but there are some hurdles in the development of agriculture that also I would like to share with you. All we know that agriculture remains means of livelihood for small and marginal farmers, and in the lack of this adequate information, capital, technology, connectivity, and all these market linkages, it is very difficult to a farmer, particularly small and marginal farmer, to take this agriculture as a commercial entity, because for commercialization of the agriculture, of course, these all things are needed, and this is one way that why the agriculture is not converting into agripreneurship, or why the rate is low. Then, before promoting diverse services by the self-employed people, there is a need to create consciousness among the farmers who are the customer about the benefit of these services. If somebody is giving timely services to the farmers, if somebody is giving timely input to the farmers, then what benefits out of that farmer will get, that kind of consciousness, that kind of awareness that needs to be spread among the farmers. A very simple example I would like to give to our audience. Being a veterinarian, I generally cite this example. The preventive medicine or preventive adoption in extension language that has not been adopted by most of the farmer as compared to the, we can say, the treatment or remedial adoption. Suppose if animal if got sick because of one of the disease called FMD, then definitely farmer is ready to spend more than 5,000, 10,000 on treatment of that particular disease of that animal. This is what the remedial adoption. But if any veterinarians he try to convince to the farmers for a preventive adoption and go for vaccination twice a year, that may cost not more than 50 rupees, even both the doses, booster and that first dose. 50 rupees at the most, and you can say the doctor's fees that may be some 100, 200, 500. But why there is a preventive adoption, farmers are not exactly suffering at that time. That's why the adoption rate is less than that of the curative adoption, or we can say the treatment. So here there is a very much necessity that how this timely advisory services, how this timely input that will reflect into percentage of benefit in coming future, that should be shown to the farmers. This is very much needed. Third thing, the present practice of providing free advisory services by the public organization needs to relook, of course, because all we know that these free services that has been make farmers unwilling to avail even a compensated services from such, we can say, agripreneurs, which will definitely create benefit to the farmers. So once you given free means your expectation or farmers' expectation is also in that way. That means they are thinking that kind of thoughts. Then the self-employed technician needs regular backup services in the form of technical and business information, contact with the marketing agencies, supplies with the critical input and equipment, and research station. Of course, that linkage to be remain update on the latest technology, latest development of particular sector. This agripreneur, they have to compete in the market. They have to remain updated with these technologies, and that kind of flow mechanism should be from the agriculture universities, from the this we can say ICR research institutions and extension agency. Then there are several legal restrictions and obstacles which come in the progress of agribusiness promoted by the public organization and cooperatives. Finally, the public organizations often hesitate in taking the risk of making heavy investment and adoption of modern technology, which in turn affect the profitability. And with a low profitability and outdated technology, farmer member lose interest in their own enterprise. So these are some of the not exclusive list, but some of the reasons that researchers have cited in various research papers and publications that I try to narrate here. So I think I'm at the my last slide. It seems to be, yeah. Now it's almost we are done with this, but still my one experience I would like to share with you. Of course, it may come in the question, but before that, I would like to clear. In fact, since beginning of the scheme, from 2002 to 2021, if we see the loan disbursement from the bank, that was close to 3% and subsidy even less than that, 2.5 we can say. And that was a major concern for this ACABC scheme. Candidate, they used to get trained 45 days and all these things, but when they submit the DPR to the bank, most of the bank, they were not responding to them. Then here we tried one experiment that we come up with the tripartite agreement with the NABARD regional office in Telangana, the leading bank, that is State Bank of India, and manage, where after that tripartite agreement, we started the interventions of the bank officials during the training period itself. That means completion, that means just after beginning of 2 weeks of the training, we used to call the bank officers in the training program. Bank officials, they themselves, they were interacting with the trained candidate, what kind of ventures they are interested, why particular, what the assets they have, or what kind of the strength they have. And likewise, they motivated, they guided to the trained candidate during the training itself. Finally, 2 weeks before they make their DPR ready, they verified the bank officials, and it is really a miracle happen, sir. I would like to just pass this information to our all audience. Within a 45 days of training program, on the last day, we able to give a 10 lakh rupees in principle approval letter from that bank to that candidate along with the certificate, and this is happened with the 5 consecutive batches covering 162 such trained candidate. And this was happen almost, we can say, some 8 to 9 months before. As on today, out of that 162 candidate, almost 80 candidate, they have received the bank loan. Physically they have received the bank loan, and out of that 30 they have received the subsidy also. This is what, just because of this initiative, we have increased that percentage from 3% to 99%, we can say, because in total 178 candidates were trained in that 5 batches, but 162 candidates, they were received that later on the last date, and even by this time most of them received the amount also. So this particular issue with this experiment, we popularly call it as a Telangana model, and the same we communicated to the ministry in turn they communicated to the NABARD headquarter, Mumbai, and then from NABARD, this kind of instructions went to each and every regional office of NABARD, state office of NABARD, and finally we have again signed MO with the HDFC for Pan India and Telangana too. We are in communication with the Andhra Bank. Andhra Bank in Andhra Pradesh. We are in communication with the Bank of India in Madhya Pradesh. We are in communication with the Punjab National Bank and State Bank of India in Uttar Pradesh. We are in communication with the Bank of Maharashtra in Maharashtra. So this initiative has been definitely producing results, and if it happened and if banks supported, even nowadays another one development, that is Jan Samad portal that Government of India they have started, where ACABC scheme also covered. So this trained candidate, they can directly upload their DPR on that Jan Samad portal with the requisite documents, and in that particular chain now each and every stakeholder, they are responsible and answerable to that particular candidate, and they have to update whether they are accepting, they are rejecting. If they are rejecting the application, what are the reason, and if the rectification is needed, what kind of rectification the candidate has to submit. So some kind of transparency that has been definitely brought by this Jan Samad portal, and of course this kind of MOU. So my final message to the candidates, agriculture, more than 80,000 candidates they are being passed from agriculture and allied sector every year. We are just talking about the agriculture graduates, not even counting diplomas and again the intermediate. And if you see the public institution absorption of this kind of candidate, that is very very meager, and it will be in future. The expectation of the policy maker to start such kind of agriculture is to make agriculture as a profession and make it as a commercial viable sustainable entity. So my humble appeal to the agriculture graduates or diploma holders who are part of this particular webinar, try to think on this ACABC. It's just a very, you can start with a small and then sky is the limit. Now our efforts are in the direction that we are making, that means we are trying to give the priority of agriculture infrastructure funds to this ACABC candidate. So suppose any candidate, he started his venture after 5 years, 6 years, now he want to expand his venture, then you can directly go for 2 crores of this loan or that kind of provision, that agriculture infrastructure fund, animal husbandry infrastructure fund. So definitely it will be that means path breaking information, path breaking scheme for this. Otherwise, if you just try to recall 20 years, not a single scheme you will see that still is going on. So with this my brief, we can say, a speech on this particular scheme. Now my request to the participants, they can have some interaction with us, and definitely we'll try to give the answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shahaji Sambhaji Pant, for your very innovative, very impressive, and also very professorial address to the audience. And it is a treasure for the people who are going to view later. And it is a very important talk today. We had it, and I felt very happy to have you in this program, even though it is in a short span of time. When I discussed with the Director General, Manage, Dr. Chandrasekhar is a good friend of mine. I told him that we talk about a lot of other schemes, which are, which are supposed to take a lot of leading role in the grassroots level. And I would like to host a talk in this national webinar series and doubling formats income by 2022 on this ACABC scheme, Agri Clinic, Agri Business Center scheme, because it is, as you rightly said it is 2002, and that time nobody would have known that this is, we would have seen, there would be a COVID-19 situation, and a lot of things would happen. And that time, yes, rural distress was there, and it's very important scheme, but it is this scheme is very well conceived. I salute and appreciate the people who are involved in coming out with the scheme 20 years back. But I don't know whether the emphasis which now they give for farmer produce organization and so on and so forth, I don't know whether that type of emphasis was given by all wings of our agricultural sector, was given to this scheme. But today, by walking on the ground for more than 20 years, now you come out with lot of actionable points. Last slide you put it that barriers, and attending 45 days program, you come out with some 7 or 8 slides where that you show that people with the 45 days program, how an entrepreneur from Namakkal is having generating more than 100 crores annual turnover. It's a big scheme, and this has to be that's why I said it, that how to create such entrepreneurs in every gram panchayat. One in every gram panchayat. The government schemes are there, and so many other government institutions are working for various technology to reach and so on and so forth. Still, we are not in a position. There is a last mile connectivity problems. And you see that for the last 2.5 years, today is the 92nd edition. As a former Director General NIC technocrat working in the area of IT and agriculture for the last 35 years, I thought that somehow we should reach the farmers, farming community, those who wants to get associated with agricultural sector. Then I thought that being associated with the Doubling Farmers Income Committee report, I thought that let me undertake this journey through the digital media. And I'm very happy that today we had a very fantastic address by you, Dr. Shahaji, Sambhaji Panchji, that it is a real eye-opener. So my request is that we have established 5 centers of excellence. Our job is also that how to reorient, how to reskill the rural youth, though are agriculture graduates, engineers, postgraduate students who has some agriculture interest to get into agriculture, how to give them and how to make them as agriculture as a preferred area to work, and how to even to look at Ashok Dalwai committee recommendation and 13 volumes, and that how digital technology, how it can help, how the 7 mission mode programs can be operationalized even for the 500 farmers. You said it very clearly. I think, Mr. Manish, is there any query? You are displaying it. Okay, there is somebody that fees structure kya hai? Can you address this query?
Yeah. Dream 92, okay, नाम है वो. Actually, मैंने एक शुरू में ही बोला कि this is a 45 days free residential program, जहाँ पे आपका लॉजिंग बोर्डिंग जो है सारा फ्री है. आपको 45 डेज जाके बाहर रहना है. और कहाँ पे रहना है, आप किसी स्टेट से हो, आप हमारे ACABC के वेबसाइट पे सर मैं वो वेबसाइट दिखाना चाहूँगा एक बार. Actually, I would like to show that website to our participants.
Please.
Let me share 1 second my screen. Share screen. Is it visible? Not it.
Yeah. You please upload. So okay.
Now it is visible, is it?
No, it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So just in Google, you type ACABC. This is the website being maintained by Manage, and this is Agriculture and Agribusiness Center. The first and foremost things, whatever the government-related orders we are receiving, that is as per the Government of India, NABARD and Manage ACABC. Here all technical information you will receive. About the scheme, of course, I have briefed, but still some information you will find here. Moreover, the progress of the scheme, state-wise, activity-wise, provision of RTPs. The publication I was talking about, the books. I think first and foremost things to get you motivated, these books. These are all downloadable books. The 100 Startup by Agripreneur, 200 Enterprising Agripreneur in Rural India. Likewise, this Agriculture Extension Farmers at Doorstep. Here the way we have presented the information, it is not just to showcase ourselves but to get help out of that to our this agripreneur. And this we can say, suppose this is the person here trapping profit, this Amar Singh Narayan Patil. His address we have given, Green Revolution, Nandyal, Kagal, Kolhapur. His mobile number is there, his email ID is there. So you can talk with him, you can give the reference, what kind of initiative earlier, what kind of venture he had, now what is the situation, everything you will find here. Any and 300, that means 300 different ventures they have at different level. So this is just to make to get help out of this to all our agripreneur. Moreover, I would like to show you this contact. Suppose you are in Uttar Pradesh and you would like to see that which are the nodal institute who are conducting training program in Uttar Pradesh. This is the state-wise list you can go, and here you will find that in Uttar Pradesh, this is at Lakshmi Jan Kalyan Seva Sansthan, Ghaziabad. This is the contact number, name of the nodal officer. This is the contact number. This email ID. So you can directly contact them and you can make an inquiry that when the program is starting. Likewise, you just find the nearby NTI of your particular locality and you made an inquiry with them. So this is with all the state. More or any kind of this inquiry, if any kind of information you want to know, we have this toll-free helpline and also the mobile number from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. This helpline is in operation, and you can ask any type of information. Moreover, again, we have a dedicated team for implementation of this scheme. Here, of course, our DG manage. I am being a principal coordinator, a responsibility of all India implementation of this scheme. We have a state faculty. They are looking some of the state. Then the Dr. Sagar, he is also looking some of the state. And then here you will find that the state specific consultant. So every state, one or two state, we have allocated dedicated human resource for that. And more interestingly, you will find their mobile number and their email IDs here. Anytime they are buying to receive your call and address your query or whatever this that means the problems issue you have. Here you can see this is all available in public domain, and so I think this much of transparency if we are maintaining, then definitely we have something in to say, something is to share with you. So let me stop the sharing this website.
Thank you very much. It is a very important query, and you have made it that manage is an organization of transparency and is a detailed information which you have put it. And thank you very much. And in this aspect only, in order to skill, reskill, upskill the rural youths, the Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology has established 5 centers of excellence to train the students to make agriculture as a preferred area to work through IT in agriculture, digital technology in agriculture. Now, I was quite impressed, even though when I was in service, I was quite associated with the agriculture sector from 1985 onwards, and then very intensively from 1995 onwards, where I was instrumental in many schemes related to IT in agriculture, and resulted in this recommendation in doubling farmers' income by 2022. And AC Agri Clinic and Agri Business Center scheme, I thoroughly know about it. That's why I requested you to talk about it, because along with the regeneration of digital transformation of 1 lakh primary agriculture cooperative societies, 22,000 primary fisher cooperative societies, 1.5 lakh dairy cooperative societies, and this agripreneur agri clinic and agri business centers also has to evolve, because there are about 14.5 crores operational holders and then 1.3 billion population is the customers. And then, since we produce agricultural commodities throughout the year from 127 agroclimatic zones, and we can provide the food to the whole world throughout the year. And and every Indian agriculture has to be globally integrated. It has to become a part of global agriculture value chain, and so that you serve India and also serve global. Then only our farmers can become a wealthy people. They will not leave agriculture. It is a very important thing. And since India is an agrarian economy, everybody has to, every higher educational institution has to work for agricultural sector. It's very important. And that's why this Soviet Institute of Engineering Technology is the first private university having agricultural use case, having two center of excellence on Center for Agricultural Informatics, E-Government Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness Disaster Management Studies, launched MTech in Agricultural Informatics, BTech in Agricultural Informatics, PG Diploma, and MBA in Agribusiness Management, BG Diploma in Agribusiness Management, to promote digital technology-enabled agriculture value chain in every agriculture commodity in every state, every district. So I would like to see to that how these centers of excellence of the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology and Manage can work together to begin with how these centers of excellence can become as one of your NTI. And our aim is one and the same. We would like to go through the digital technology in agriculture, promote, and what the Ashok Dalwai committee talked about it, since we are part of that program and we were instrumental in coming out with this recommendation. Now we are propagating the country to promote. And today is the 92nd edition. And then the Saturday program is technology, open source digital technology towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. That is also 91 edition. By day after tomorrow, I will be completing. It means a lot of problems have been identified. Lot of experts would like to contribute, and institutions have to join together. We have to connect all the dots to make everybody in the rural area as a rural entrepreneur and rural innovators and also agro entrepreneurs. So my request is that how these centers of excellence of the Soviet Institute of Engineering Technology and Manage, and how these centers of excellence can become a national training institute for you, NTI. And then let us walk together and with respect to how we can generate agripreneurs. And it is really a pathway for farming as a service. Unless the trained manpower is available to undertake agri entrepreneurs, these 45 days is not, it should not stop with the 45 days training. It has to be a lifelong stakeholdership, because agriculture is going to be lifelong. And we have to have agriculture good commodity for us to take care of every day's need. And it is a lifelong stakeholdership, handholding, and create at least minimum one agri-tech startup, maybe based on agri entrepreneurship, technology enabled, and so on and so forth, per each gram panchayat. It means that 2.25 lakh agri-tech startup. You said it very clearly that if one bank, nationalized bank, they got 1,70,000 branches. If they can give one loan for one entrepreneur per year, it means that we'll be covering 1,70,000 agri entrepreneurs, and it has to be achieved. And these barriers have to be broken. And this is very important. My request will be that Dr. Shahaji, Sambhaji, Panth, let us join together and let us work together to create 2.25 lakh agri-tech startup, one per each gram panchayat, and let us join together through an MOU, and let us see how we should move forward. And I would like to thank you for giving a real, insight view, and why this scheme, what is this scheme, how is this scheme, and an institution like, only an institution like National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management can manage, your acronym also manage, can manage this gigantic activity with your 20 faculty members. You said it very lightly that you are managing a gigantic activity with 126 NTI and generating entrepreneurs, and through technology, media, and making the whole organization transparent. And that is that, the, minimum government, maximum governance, minimum government and maximum governance, and e-governance is the key. It's very important. And I would like to hear from you a last word, and then we will close the webinar. Dr. Pant.
Yeah, thank you, sir. In fact, just before the last word, there is one query from Indrani Ghosh. He's asking about some incubator, in fact, agribusiness incubation center. In fact, we have here managed incubation business incubation center where we are providing incubation support, business support, and other these services for the agripreneurs. And we are also helping them to build their network partners and associate to support the agribusiness center. Here we are providing them support since we can say the what are the focus area, what are the we can say trust areas, then what kind of offerings we can give, who can to that means the linking partners we are actually linking them, and moreover we are running 7 programs under this managed ACABC incubation center. All the details are available on our managed ACABC websites, on your managed site also available. One more thing they are asking about the funding pattern. In fact, under RKVY Raptar, there is a provision of seeding funding. One is the pre-startup where you will get 5 lakh rupees grant in aid, and another is seeding funding where you will get 25 lakh rupees grant in aid. It is not a loan, but grant in aid. And of course, it is manages not only the one incubation center. In total, you will find there are more than we can say as on today. 15 such incubation centers are there located at different agriculture universities and national institutes where you can inquire about that their priorities, and whenever they are advertising, they are inviting the applications. Definitely you can approach with your business model, the innovativeness and the kind of the service contribution you want to make with the farmers. So just talk with them. I think your efforts and dedication, if in that direction, definitely you'll be through with these things. And
Thank you very much.
yeah,
Thank
yes,
you very much.
sir.
Yeah.
I really thanks in fact, and sir, if suppose now I don't know after this maybe some queries will come to you.
Okay.
So you can forward that queries to us. We can definitely we will reply on that, and that can be circulated to the participants. But moreover, if they want that, definitely suppose they want to see the venture already established in their nearby locality, that can also be facilitated by our team, our consultant, state consultant. They if they call and ask that this is their location and nearby they want to visit the particular venture established under ACABC scheme, that can be facilitated by manage. Finally, our ultimate objective is that person has to get motivated out of these things. Thank you. Once again, thank you, sir, for giving this unique opportunity, in fact, and really felt happy to be a part of this, noble, things that Dalwai sir and you have started. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then we would like to join together and work. And I also would like to see to that how that the centers of excellence of the Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology become a part and parcel of manage as a
Sure,
T,
sir.
your TNI, NTI, and our aim is that to have 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups and agri entrepreneurs, and how through digital technology, how the rural students, be it agriculture science graduate or the engineering graduates or postgraduate non-agriculture science backgrounds, those who have got agricultural acumen, how we can motivate them through agriculture informatics program in a very big manner, because the future of farming is through you know 4 areas.
Yeah.
So once again, green technology. This green technology is not GREEN. This is GRIN. Genomics, robotics, informatics, and nanotechnology. So GRIN, and this is where the Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology, through these centers of excellence, would like to march ahead. So thank you very much, and I also would like to thank Dr. Chandrasekhara, Director General Manager, to talk to, agreed to my request to ask you to deliver a talk, and you have done a fantastic and very wonderful talk today to the audience of this webinar series. And I would like to thank Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, faculty members of the university, and dear participant, and also above all Dr. Shahaji Sambhaji Panth, our guest speaker, and his team for making today's program a very wonderful and also a futuristic program for everybody to follow. Thank you very much. With this, we will close the webinar and leave studio. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.